Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back in. Thank you guys for the feedbacks on the previous videos on basically just, the loadout or the setup for the hunter and then the same thing for the warlock. Today's video we're going to be going over the titans. And my titan build might be a lot different from others just because the way I think about things or the way I look at what's more important to me. And I'm going to break that down. All right. So, if you watch the previous videos, you can tell that I like to go with the character's strength, or I like to go with what the character has to use in their class ability. Now, the Titan class ability is tied to his resilience, so that means my class ability cooldown is 14 seconds, and I'm gonna kind of tie this into other things real soon here, but with my resilience at a 102, I'm going to be getting my my wall back up. And with reload not being such a big issue, I'm going to go with the Tyrant Barricade. Now the thing is, depending on the Nightfall, I'm going to be using different subclasses, right? It just depends. Uh, the first subclass that I kind of want to go into is the Sentinel Middle Tree, which is the code of the Commander. A lot of people always ask me, why do I pick that over top tree? Because weapons and light is cool, right? You have the water dawn and you put it down. If you put on the same 14 helmet, people have an overshield and they could do things. Here, it kind of takes you out of play, but if you're standing in front of anyone with your shield up, they don't take damage, right? So people behind you are protected, but guess what? They still get that 35% damage through you. As long as they're standing behind you and they have it procced, they get to do the same amount of damage. And now they don't have to worry about, oh snap, I can't shoot in this bubble. I got to walk out of this bubble to shoot. And I'm not safe, right? With this subclass, just the super itself being on the level, you can kind of maybe get through a room pretty quick. Right? And you're probably going to ask me, why am I not using Ursa's? And we're going to go through that. Because Ursa's only work with the super. Whereas here, I'm trying to think about different situations all the time. It seems like the super may be something that you want to use just to get out of situations, or maybe if you have enough DPS, you can get out of room really quick. So let's go into it. Tactical strike is when you strike an enemy with your melee ability, it causes a void explosion, right? The cool thing about Code of the Commander is that you and your nearby allies regain health as grenades and metal energy on your void detonators explode, right? So whenever you see the void things just go off because they're latching onto things, when your allies are near you, you're regaining health. And guess what? Health is a high key to survivability when it comes to Destiny. Next, we have here, if you hit a target with void ability to attach a void detonator, further hits cause the detonator to explode, dealing damage to surrounding targets. And here's the cool thing. If it hits the next surrounding target, it just keeps going. It's like a little bomb that just keeps sticking on to others, meaning you constantly get to maybe regain your health with your allies if you're kind of surrounded. Another cool thing here is, like I said, the banner shield. When you guard with your super, your allies can shoot through it. They have increased weapon damage, which is 35%. And the guarding allies make your shield last longer, meaning if they're behind you as you're guarding, your shield gets to last longer. And I understand the whole thing why Ursa's giving you super back, but here's a part where you kind of got to work with your team and kind of chain things together. All right, I like to use this, the magnetic grenade because I feel like it explodes twice. And guess what? With detonators and stuff like that, if I stick something and it explodes twice, more than likely I'm going to get my life back because it's probably going to be low health enough, right? I'm not just going to attack a target that's not like, almost dying. I'm going to, my life is low and I see a target that's like right there that I can hit. I'm going to do that. Hence the fact where my recovery is only at 50 because I don't need it to be that high because I have another way to recover. Now, the preferred exotic for me is the Heart of Inmost Light. Why am I using the Heart of Inmost Light? We're going to break this down right now. Heart of Inmost Light is one of the most underused Titan exotics in the game. I don't know why. I feel like it is one of the strongest exotics in the game. Using an ability, grenade, melee, or barricade, empowers the other two abilities. Empower means your abilities have faster regen, your melee and your grenades do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. With this build, I am going to rely on my grenade a bit more, so I made sure that my discipline was at tier 7. My super, I'm not going to need as much, but I will be building my super because I'm at tier 5, and if you look at my class item here, I also have that set up in a certain way. My class item has distribution, so it reduces all ability cooldown when I'm using my class ability. Let's not forget that I also have on Hard and Inmost Light, and when I use an ability, the others charge up really quick, and I'll demonstrate that soon. With Dynamo, it reduces my super cooldown when I'm using my class ability. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically making a chain of events to not only get my super back, but get a bunch of my other things back, abilities. Now, let me see here. I'm going to switch my subclass so I can get rid of... actually, let me just... so I can get rid of this really quick. Alright, we're going to get rid of the super real quick. And then I'm going to break down Hard and Inmost Light just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright. So, with Hard and Inmost Light, normally, people only think that you can get a power times 1. It is very understandable. Alright. So, let me guys up real quick. If I throw a grenade here, you can see on my screen it says empowered, and I've got empowered for 9 seconds. What that means is that if I put up my barricade will take more hit points, right? And as you can see here, my grenade is basically like slowly creeping back up. Now, my melee itself will also get me empowered. And as you can see there, my grenade is filing up really quick because I'm empowered, right? And if I throw my grenade, it gets a boost as well. Now, I have a complete video breaking down how much damage or how much boost these things do. Empower times 2 is something that I would like to explain as well because most people don't understand it. Empower times 2 happens when you throw your grenade and then you melee right away, or if you barricade and you melee right away, right? So now on this ogre, if I throw my grenade, we can see here that the damage is 9236 twice, right? And we can see where his health is at. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get empowered times 2. As you can see on my screen, I'm empowered times 2. You can see the regen of my abilities being really quick. You see that? So look how fast I got my wall back because my resilience was so high, right? So the timer actually was a lot faster than the game says it to be, right? It says 14 seconds, but as you can see here, that as soon as I got empowered times 2, look at that. I would say that is about 7 seconds. Well, I cut that down in half, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to put on my barricade. I'm going to melee, and then I'm going to throw this grenade. 208, 15609, 15609. As you can see there, it was about a 64% buff for my grenade, which is why you can see that my discipline is a lot higher than you would think. And if I do the same thing again and I get empower times 2, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to get my grenade back again. And before I know it, my barricade is back, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? You know what that means? That means that in about maybe 1 or 2 seconds, my grenade is back again. And like I said, survivability, being able to self-cover yourself with the barricade, constantly having your melee charged up, constantly having your grenade. Being empowered is one of the craziest things in this game. All right, so that's just a breakdown of that. And if you want to run with the Solar subclass with Hard and Inmost Light, you could do the same thing with this build here. The only thing is, against unstoppable champions, the Titan is going to be the best class to do this because the Titan can put up their wall, and then after the unstoppable enemy stomps the ground, right? After they stomp, you don't take damage behind the wall. Then you go out and you melee the unstoppable champion. And here are my reasoning for using middle. I mean, not middle tree. I'm sorry. I got confused there because everyone loves middle tree. Bottom tree, all right? Code of the Siegebreaker solar subclass is the strongest out of all three. And if we want to go from weakest to strongest, the top is the weakest. Throwing hammer is stronger than the top tree, and the bottom is like the king of the three classes. Now, why do you say that, EK? What do you mean? You have stuff like thermite grenades that throw a burn line of fire that basically kind of help you at control, or through a certain door you can lock something down. And as you guys can see, I showed you how fast I can regen my grenade, right? I can easily use that to help out my teammates. Here's another cool thing. Soul Invictus, solo ability kills restore your health, right? Your grenade, your melee ability, and Sun Warrior. So now we're stacking all of these things together with Heart and Most Light. Then you have Sun Warrior leaving a deadly spot, and as you walk through that spot, right? Not only do you throw hammers faster, like when you're in your super, but you also have the ability to recharge everything faster. So passing through a sunspot causes your grenade melee abilities to recharge faster, and for your super to last longer. And it also increases the damage that you do. So not only do you get the damage from being empowered from your grenade, you also have the Sun Warrior helping you out. Sun Warrior is another 20% buff on top of this. All right. And the Mortar Blast, when you strike enemy with the melee ability, it releases solar explosion, sending nearby enemies on fire. Guess what? It might not be more of a team thing here, but you're able to keep yourself alive, which in the long run, which help out your fire team, because it is a team thing happening. And if you have, especially if you're the last person standing, and you have to, make some plays for your teammates to come back. As a Titan, with this, you should know your plays. You should know where you can kind of move into. If you put up a wall, you can kind of separate enemies by putting up a wall and then figuring out where you have to go. Especially when you're in power and your wall can take more hits from enemies. These two subclasses, like I said, Code of the Siegebreaker and Code of the Commando and Void, are set to help you in Grandmaster Nightfalls. I know I made this video a little bit longer. I'm sorry. I just do my best to try to break down what goes on in my head and how I put things together. This is the build that I'll be using on my Titan for Grandmaster Nightfalls. If you guys have any questions, you can always put them in the comments, or you can even jump in stream and ask me about it. Thank you for watching my content. I'll see you guys on the next video.